Hello, everybody. It is Wellness Wednesday, and it's late. I meant to get on earlier, but I have had a back-to-back day. It's been an exciting day, lots of coaching, which makes me super happy. So I'm coming on late on Wellness Wednesday to give you a wellness tip. And today I want to talk about blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, fasting insulin levels, and the importance of knowing those values for your overall health. So I love talking about this because I had a personal issue with it. I'm a trail runner, and I've always thought I can get away with eating anything because I can just run. And I don't have a weight issue, so it's not a problem. But I had my lab work done by a functional medicine doctor, and found that my fasting glucose levels were either in the high normal or they're actually in the pre-diabetic range. And I mean, it just threw me. I was super depressed. I was like, how can this possibly be happening? I run, I'm in shape, I don't have any extra weight on me. This isn't fair, all the feelings. And then I just kind of had to say, okay, like, I'm going to deal with this. I got to figure this out. And this is probably a good thing, because if I'm going to be a wellness coach, if I experience stuff, then it makes me even that much more knowledgeable to help other people. So I always try to spin things and figure out a positive way to look at things. And so that's kind of how I took it. Like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna learn what to do, and then I can help other people, and I can have a personal experience and be able to relate. So I decided to figure out what was making my blood sugars high, even though I was doing all the things that I thought was right. But I really wasn't. So I was drinking a glass of wine every night after work, and I wasn't abusing alcohol, but it was very habitual, and I felt like I needed it. It was a little bit of a crutch. And so I knew that was something I was going to have to change, and I wasn't really ready at the beginning to do it. I was also doing a lot of snacking in the morning. I had to be at work at 5:45, and I used that as an excuse. If I have to be up early, then I'm going to have to, eat to be able to sustain myself in these early morning work hours. So I was, snacking on protein bars and dried fruit and nuts and grazing. I mean, it's just grazing constantly. I'd go to work every day with this, big bag of snacks so that I could get through a work day. It was stupid. It was ridiculous. I didn't know. I didn't know intermittent fasting was going to be such a thing. So little by little, I started making changes. I went through my program. So I'm doing a group program called Transform Your Health, Turn Back Time. And I went through my program so that I could say I did it before I had other people do it. And that was really transformational. So I'd already been trying to make some little tweaks here and there, and I was starting to make some progress, but not really consistently. I measure my blood glucose. So I have my glucose monitor. I measure every morning. And I was tracking that. I was tracking my weight. I started tracking my sleep with this Oura ring and getting sleep scores. So I was getting all the data, and things were a little bit better, but they weren't really a lot better until I went through my program and made all those changes. So as a result of going through it, I stopped drinking entirely. So I didn't have any wine. I had wine 3 times in 6 weeks. So I say I didn't have any wine because basically I didn't have any wine. So 3 times in 6 weeks, I stopped snacking in the morning. I started doing 8-hour feeding windows, and if I had a run in the morning, if it was less than 6 miles, I would just run on an empty stomach. It was fine. I really shifted. I shifted my metabolism. I made all of the other changes that you make if you go through the program that I do, and it just shifted everything. I got away from my need for wine. I have wine maybe twice a week now. With rare exception, do I go over that? I no longer need to snack all day. I can keep myself pretty much in an 8-hour feeding window. Sometimes I'll do a 24-hour fast or a little bit longer, and I'm totally able to do that. My metabolism is very flexible. My blood sugars were running like in the high 90s, mid to high 90s, and occasionally over 100 when I was doing the old stuff, when I was having the glass of wine every night. And now my blood sugars are almost always below 90. And that's really where you want your blood sugars to be, is below 90. And so I really encourage you to start, to be aware, because if you're like me, you maybe are active, running a lot, working out at the gym. Maybe you don't carry any extra weight on you. You feel pretty lean, pretty healthy, but if you don't know your blood sugars, you don't know for sure, you know? I mean, unless you are already intermittent fasting and you already are practicing, you know, moderation with alcohol and everything, but why not? No, this is only like $28 and it came with 2 vials of strips, and you just buy the extra strips whenever you need them. I mean, it's one of the most valuable pieces of information to have for your health. So you really should know your fasting blood glucose levels. You can now get monitors from different pharmacies and Amazon that will tell you your hemoglobin A1C, which is like a 3-month average of your blood sugar control. And so that you can get like a kit that has like 2 tests in it, I think. So that would be pretty cool to get as well. I might do that at some point. But you should also know your fasting insulin levels. So that should be run. Your doctor should be ordering that. And if he hasn't or she hasn't, then you need to ask them to order fasting insulin and a hemoglobin A1C test, so you know where you are. And then it's a matter of just making changes. So I help people review their labs. I help people know what labs to ask for, because there's a lot of other labs that are really important to know in terms of what's putting you at risk of chronic disease and heart disease. A lot of the inflammatory labs that are really important to know. So I help people know what labs to ask for. I help them review their labs, and then I help them with lifestyle changes that they can do to improve those lab values. So on Wellness Wednesday, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share my story because I don't think I'm alone in thinking that as long as I run a lot or work out a lot and I'm thin, that I'm probably fine. Like, we all should know what's going on below the surface. So if you have any questions about fasting blood sugars, fasting insulin levels, thanks, Mark. Any questions about labs that you should be asking for, things that you should know in terms of, you know, identifying risk of chronic disease, please reach out. Let me know. I'm happy to answer, or happy to do like another Facebook Live on something if it's something I think other people would want to hear about. And lastly, if you feel like you need the help of a wellness coach, I am here. I am happy to help. And my group program, I'm seeing amazing results. People are getting over food cravings. They're losing significant amounts of weight. They're losing inches. They're feeling confident. They're feeling positive. They're feeling powerful. It's pretty dramatic. It's exciting. So just wanted to share that. And with that, I will wish you a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back on again tomorrow. Bye-bye.